As tensions ran high and streets were blocked, TERESA PACO ventured out to sell her lamb at an improvised market on the side of the road. Selling, however, wasn't her major concern.
We must be treated equally, not looked down on because we are indigenous, and now we are very hurt because they've burnt our flag.
The day Evo Morales took exile in Mexico, opponents in the city of Cochabamba brought down the Huipala flag that represents indigenous pride and burnt it. A policeman cut out the symbol from his uniform. Old racist tweets were quickly erased from the interim president's account. Janine Áñez has denied writing them. That made Olga Huanca fear the days when women who wore polleras or traditional skirts as she does were not even allowed boarding planes.
Before, we couldn't enter many places. People would tell us, shut up, because we're from the rural areas. Now we are sad and worried.
For more than 30 years, indigenous Bolivians have fought racism coming from the political and social elites. As Evo Morales rose to power in 2006, he named indigenous ministers and exalted indigenous symbols. Critics say he used his pro-indigenous rhetoric for political gains, further dividing the country. Whites and mestizos felt sidelined. For many indigenous Bolivians, the frustration they feel is not about losing Evo Morales, but what he represented. A leader who protected indigenous rights and implemented policies for those left behind. Protesters following Morales' demise turned from claiming support to their leader to a cry against the comeback of racism they fought for so long.
Evo Morales y el gobierno implicaba.
Evo Morales took racism into a state of numbness, but it didn't disappear. When he falls, racism resurfaces, surprising us all, because we're not accustomed to such a stark reality.
Now REMIGIO HILARE says he will defend his right to equality, voting in the next elections.
Before we couldn't even enter the military school or university. Now we are prepared. We woke up and we will demand equality.
Days after Evo Morales took refuge in Mexico, it was clear for thousands of indigenous Bolivians that his era may be over, but they're here to stay, and they say their traditions and symbols matter. Mariana, Sanchez, Jazeera, Achocalla, Bolivia.